Hey.
Hand me a towel, I'm dirty dancing by myself, gone off tabs of that acid. Form me a circle, watch my Jagger. Might lose my jacket and hit a solo one time.
How's everything going? How are you? We haven't spoken it's been a bit. A little embarrassing, honestly, because I think the last time that we spoke, I was saying that I was going to keep this up. I was going to be grand. It was going to be awesome. And then I dropped it for months and months, and life got busy and things happened. But I suddenly got this inspiration to bring this back. And I thought it was over. I mean, the website is expired, but here I am. And it kind of feels good to be back, sharing things with you, having a cup of coffee. Because lately I've been kind of feeling a sense of not very much like insecurity, but more of, I guess, inability or just general lack of. Kind of in the sense of that I want to be great, right? I want to do great things. And I'm not there yet. And I still have a bunch of steps to take, and I need to recognize that I still do have a lot of steps to take, but I've also taken a lot of steps to get here where I'm at now. And this has kind of been on my mind for a little bit as I really just kind of continue to pick up new projects and pick up new things to do, and maybe picking back up old things to do, like this show, which I thought was gone. I thought it was done. I was working on the coffee shop, and that was going to be the spiritual successor. But for some reason, I just wanted to get back into it because I know that I can, and because I know that this new format that I want to do is going to be awesome. It's going to be really unique. And one of the big changes that I want to do with the show is it's not going to be as, I guess, routine anymore. I don't want to feel like I have to upload. That's not really the whole point of the show. And I kind of spoken on this before because I'm not doing this for views. I'm doing this, I guess, like for me. But in the same time, of course, I hope you can take away from this. And so not everybody has to open up every single time, right? And not everyone has a weekly basis that they can just speak. And so when I get this inspiration to talk, that's when these will come out. And I feel like that'll make it more personal. The whole thing about this show was being mine, being my personality, my interests, my views, my mental state, my thoughts, sharing it with you over this cup of coffee. And sometimes life gets busy, and I'm fully acknowledging that. I'm fully acknowledging that sometimes life gets busy. So I guess cheers to when we can meet up. When life isn't so busy and you can sit down and actually speak with me. And I can sit down and speak with you. And that's also kind of been a reminder that life can be a bit on the slower side, and that's fine. Smaller steps are victories. And I'm having a lot of trouble accepting that, or at least kind of taking my own advice. I feel like I say this to like a lot of people, to everybody. I feel like I say, little steps are still a win. Keep going, because eventually those bigger steps will happen. And ironically, one of my biggest detriments as to why I can't complete a lot of these tasks, as to why I start so much and do so much, is because I don't recognize those smaller steps for myself. Because to me, if I'm not making big leaps, then I can't be recognized. Because for me, if I'm not, I guess, impressing or showing that I'm a master, or at least just becoming a master, I don't care about showing it. I guess subconsciously I do, right? That's the whole reason we're having this discussion. On the surface level, when I do acts, when I create new hobbies and not really content, but projects, and start this and start that, start learning a language, practice or training for a half marathon, starting a book, redoing this podcast, that is kind of like each individual action is kind of putting water into a pot. The issue is the pot has holes in it. It's got cracks because I'm not kind of letting it sit. I'm not letting it kind of reach that base stage first. I'm not being the perfectionist and building that foundation and going and going and going and going. What I'm doing is I'm putting it all at once, and because of that, all that pressure is starting to leak out because I want those big steps of progress. I want that to be able to be me, to mark it. My linear progression is not step by step, it's more bounds. And why is that? Why do I feel like I have to be great, perfect, recognized? I mean, I could tell you there are some key factors, really. I mean, in the past, and there's this whole thing with, growing up, always wanting to be seen, but never really being heard, kind of put away, tucked in the corner, here's this distraction. And I think a lot of that's kind of built up into this kind of pressured state that I'm in now. I mean, I still enjoy doing these things, don't get me wrong. I feel really, really great satisfaction when I carry out these tasks, when I carry out these hobbies. I feel really good recording this right now. Getting coffee and practicing my art, it's amazing when I do that. When I go back and touch the piano or the guitar, I feel almost like in like a mode, like in a Zen mode, almost like that movie Soul, and they're in that state, that flow state. When I'm writing my book and I actually get the inspiration to pick it back up. Because that's another thing. I haven't been getting that inspiration at all. I wrote 4 chapters and I just keep getting ideas and I pop them into a outline and I just can't put it into words, and that sucks. But when I get those ideas and it's like, I need to get on Google Docs right now and write this down because this is going to be really good. I just can't put it into words, I guess. And I'm trying to come more in terms with that, and that the fact that, I have done a lot already, have kind of set a really good life for myself in a way, just because I'm doing so much. And I know people recognize that, right? On a surface level, I know people do. Maybe I just don't recognize it. Maybe I want to be at a certain level and I'm just not there, and so I think that that's not enough, and so I think nobody else recognizes it. That I'm not too sure of. Yeah. It's good to be back, though. I love having these talks with you, with us. I mean, I yap all the time. I'm like one of the top 100 yappers in the world, maybe top 50. I guess satisfaction, longevity, keeping things up. I don't want to burn out. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost there, though. The newest thing, right? The newest kind of thing that I'm picking up, I'm starting a master's program in healthcare business administration, which I didn't know at all that I was going to do at all. It really was just a spontaneous, let me apply to see if I can apply for this master's program at a named university, like a known university. I did the interview. They said they let me know in 2 weeks. They let me know in 2 days. And it's really cool. But I was asked the other day, are you excited? Am I excited? I don't necessarily think so. I think because I just applied just to apply, just to see if I could do it. One more extra thing to put on myself, to make myself more recognizable, either for other people or to me. And I did it, and I accepted it. I will be undergoing this master's program, and I believe that it will be a good thing. I'm trying to at least convince myself that it will be a good thing. Financial stability, I can actually make a change in healthcare versus being on the clinical side as a nurse or a practitioner. You're not really making any of those changes, or it's a lot harder to make those changes. This kind of degree gives me that position to kind of better healthcare, because right now it's not in a good state, man. And I'm also kind of telling myself that, okay, this financial stability, this whole aspect of it is going to give me time to work on the coffee shop, to better myself, because I've kind of realized I'm not that great at it at a selling level. I think I'm good enough to be able to make coffee for my friends and make coffee for myself. But in a professional selling standpoint, on the things that I want to do and make this more of a labor of love, because when I open one, and let's see if those plans change, right? If my desire changes at all. I would love to open one and just have me working it. Maybe one other person. That's it. Because this is my craft. That's my interest. That's what I love to do. Plus, I want to make it like a vinyl/analog listening cafe. Like stereophonic sound in Korea, South Korea. And I will be going, funny story, I'm actually going in 2 weeks to South Korea, and I am going to this cafe, stereophonic sound. And I am super excited because this is the concept that I really want to start here in the States, whether it's here in Portland, back home in Vegas, Seattle, New York, something like that, where you come in and it's a social space. Like, I want people to come in and stay. I want people to listen. Maybe they can bring in their own CDs, own cassettes, their own records, and just chill. Just have a vibe, have a coffee. To-go coffee will be served, yes. And that's perfectly fine. Stay as long as you want. If you gotta go, you gotta go. But if you can stay and listen to this kind of labor of love, this curated set list of vinyl, CD, cassette. Nope, I'm gonna try my hardest not to do like Bluetooth or Sonos. Like, I want everything to be analog. Because here in Portland, and trust me, it gets on my nerves, there are cafes here that tout and brag that they use, that they're analog, they analog sound, they have record, they have vinyl. And I'm looking over at the counter trying to find out what's playing, and they're connected to Bluetooth. Their receiver is on Bluetooth mode and their phone is playing the music. Or they're connected via aux and they're playing freaking whatever is newest top 50 pop. That's not what I want. The vibe, yes, it is easier to interchange, but the whole part of it is connecting that sound with your drink and the people around you. If you can mingle or you have a group, I really want them to do that. I really want you to do that. To just be there in the moment. And that's, again, another project that I'm trying to do. Not enough time because I manage myself with so many other things. Now I'm trying to keep it as a positive. This master's program that I'm undergoing is going to be really great. It's going to get me that financial stability, going to give me that time to practice, going to give me that time to plan. In the meantime, I can really decide, do I want to stay in Oregon? Do I want to stay in Portland? Do I want to go back to Vegas? Do I want to go somewhere else? I know New York has been in my mind for quite a bit now. Japan? Well, I'm really trying to remind myself that I've done a lot. I'm really trying to remind myself that I have done enough. I've lived a great life. And it might be a little dramatic, but if I were to die today, tomorrow, I would honestly be satisfied. And even if I don't recognize those smaller steps of progress, I do recognize that. And that I've done enough, and I've seen enough, and I've eaten enough, and I've spoken to enough people. Even if it was one conversation with a person, or if it's been a lifelong friend. I've gone to different countries, I've had different experiences. My dog is freaking fantastic. I love that guy. Luffy. I have lived a great life, and I continue to do great. I should give myself a little more credit in that. My ambition isn't a detriment. It's what makes me, me. I hope people look up to me because of my ambition and start their own ambitions and start their own plans and projects and hobbies and want to do things that I'm doing or even want to figure out new avenues for themselves. My ambition is me. Alexander Romero. I like that name, Alexander. I think that fits me very well. I'll be okay. I think I'll be all right. And I think with that, I will let you guys go. I will let you go. You probably have work to do. You probably have schoolwork to do. I am off today, so I'm just chilling. But hopefully you take care. Hopefully life is good to you. Hopefully things go your way. And maybe next time, who knows? Maybe I'll start something new. I have some plans for this. But I don't want to, say it and then not do it. But I appreciate you guys being here. See ya.